What's up, guys? We are live and in color. Yeah, guys. First time hosting the podcast here. No Coach T. He's going to be coming in a little bit late during the show. So I'm here hosting for the first time. Welcome, guys, to the Be Ready Sports Podcast, episode 42. Wow, episode 42. Wow. That is... Now, okay, applause a little bit twice. But yes, episode 42, 38 episodes past, 39th is coming up here. All right. Thank you guys for supporting. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon on our YouTube channel so you get notified when we go live on the Be Ready Sports Podcast. And also, down in the ticker right there, follow our Instagram at Be Ready Sports Podcast for the latest updates and get to see clips of our guests here, of our guests on the podcast. You know what I mean? And that's where you can contact us if you want to be a guest on the show. All right, guys. So let's get right into it, shall we? Let's get right into it. Tonight's guest is a class of 2032 basketball player from Los Angeles, California, from the LA area. This athlete thrives at the point guard position where he loves creating opportunities for his teammates and keeping defenses on their heels. Coaches praise his skill, relentless work ethic, positive attitude, and unwavering determination. So now, please welcome to the Be Ready Sports Podcast, Carter Penn. What's up, Carter?
What's up, guys?
So you want to give a little icebreaker on who you are? You know, just trying to introduce yourself to the audience here.
Yeah. Hey, my name is Carter Penn. I'm 11 years old, and my favorite sport is basketball. And I love to spend time with my family and do art.
I love that. You know, playing basketball on the court. He's really good on the court. Obviously, you know, he's a human outside the court, guys. Remember, so he's doing art, really calm, relaxing activity. You know, art, that's like really good. You know what I mean? Then obviously the basketball part, he grinds on that basketball court. Obviously, as I read from my intro, you know what I mean? He thrives on the basketball court, especially at the point guard position. You know, can get stressful on the basketball court, but outside the court, calm, art. You know what I mean? So yeah. All right, Carter. So let's get into these sports topics here. All right. Okay. So if you guys been living under a rock, like my co-host says, a lot of things been going on here. You know, during a little hiatus last week, but you know we'll catch up here a little bit. But it was just announced, I believe, a few days ago that we're gonna have some new teams here in the WNBA. How about that, Carter? New teams in the W, here, expanding everywhere. You know. Obviously, you have the New Yorks, the Indianas, you know. But how about these teams coming up? In 2028, Cleveland's going to be a team in the WNBA. 2029, we got Detroit. And then in 2030, you got Philadelphia. And then also not listed on here is Toronto, 2026. So, Carter, so what's your reaction to this? You know, WNBA expanding.
I think it's going to be really good. More opportunities for more players to join, and I think it's going to be really good.
Yes, most definitely. You know, it's amazing. You know, the whole point, you know, is to grow the game. Obviously, you know, growing with these fan bases, you know, Cleveland, Detroit, Philadelphia, you know, you're bringing those fan bases to the WNBA. You know, the reason why these, you know, the WNBA, they choose these teams, you know, they're asking themselves, what do these cities like? How are they going to make the league stronger? How are they going to make the association stronger? And obviously, you know, you're going to bring new fan bases in, like the Clevelands, the Detroits, the Philadelphias, and obviously Toronto from Canada. Watch out for the WNBA now. They're growing. Obviously, this year, Carter, they got the Golden State Valkyries this year. Yeah. They're doing pretty. They're hanging in there. You know, as an expansion team. But here's the current WNBA standings. We took a few days ago. This is a few days ago, not really current, This is like a few days ago. So obviously you got the Liberty on top, Atlanta Dream behind them. Obviously you got the Lynx. Carter, 2
Yep.
losses to the Lynx.
Hmm.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
16-2. Wow, that is amazing. Then you got the Mercury right behind them. Then you got the Storm at that third spot.
Yeah.
Okay, so Carter, so what's like? How do you say this? What's like the surprise here when you see this standings here? What like pops out to you?
Um, I think Washington really pops out for me
Why Washington, the Mystics?
because like I feel they had a lot of bad games. I feel like they should be 5-11. Chicago should take the Washington's place.
Okay, why the Chicago Sky over? Because of Angel Reese?
Yeah, I feel like she could start getting a little bit better, make some more layups.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
but obviously, she's caught up in all the spotlight, and she's too worried
Yeah.
about that instead of her
Hmm.
team because she
Yeah.
obviously got worried about her team because look at that 5-11.
Hmm.
That is not good. And by the way, I'm gonna
Yeah.
take off this Tigger I'm gonna take off this Tigger here because guess who's at the bottom, Carter?
Sparks.
The Wings,
Hmm.
Dallas Wings, 6-13. Poor Paige Beckers, the number
Wow.
one overall pick. They're down there 6-13. The Sparks with
There
Kelsey
too.
Plum, they're down there 6-13. From your hometown, Carter, from
Yeah.
LA, Los Angeles. So
You're doing pretty bad this year.
yeah, unfortunately. But I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's a C right next to the Fever, and that means that they won the Commissioner's Cup. They won the Commissioner's Cup. I think it's pretty much like their in-season tournament.
Yeah.
They played the Lynx. They beat the Lynx to win the Commissioner's Cup. So first Commissioner's Cup victory for Caitlin Clark and the Fever. So Carter, so what's your thoughts on that?
I feel like that was really good. Caitlin Clark to get her first champion or cup in WNBA, and I feel like that was really good for her and the
Yeah,
team.
most definitely. Obviously later on they're gonna have the WNBA finals and all that. That's gonna
Yeah.
be later on down the line. But obviously, the reigning champs, the New York Liberty, they're at 12-6. They're top of the East there.
Yep.
So Carter, so do you think the Liberty's gonna hold up and still stay at the top?
If they keep playing how they are right now, they could stay up there. But if
Mhm.
Atlanta keeps having good games, they'll take that spot.
Yeah, you never know. There's more games down the line.
Mhm.
If you put your foot off the gas, another team's gonna take over.
Yep.
It can be the Fever, it could be the Dream. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep on going. And then for the West, okay. So Carter, do you think the same thing's gonna happen in the West with the Lynx?
Um. Nah, probably not.
Okay, so you're saying the Lynx are gonna keep on going, just take over
Yep.
the West.
Yep, they are.
And by the way, the Lynx, they actually bring back 5 of their starters. They bring back starters, so they're pretty experienced when it comes down to
Yeah.
playing in the playoffs. So they're gonna be pretty experienced coming in,
Hmm.
and they're looking really darn good right now.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so a little quick take here. By the way, tomorrow, guys, is CFB 26 for everybody to get it, not just the people with early access. So as you guys know, July 7th was when people with early access that purchased the premium bundle or the MVP bundle, they got CFB 26 first before everyone else, and they were able to play the game. Kind of spoil it a little bit for us on social
Hmm.
media, but it is what it is. They have the game,
Yeah.
they deserve it, and and then for people who don't have it, can get it tomorrow. So Carter, so what do you think about this? So yeah,
Um. The cover looks really good. I think it's gonna be really great.
yeah, most definitely. CFB 26, they're gonna they're gonna put more features in the game.
Yeah.
The night games are gonna be much better. The gameplay is gonna be much better. It's gonna feel more realistic. They also got the head coaches as well. They
Yeah.
got Ryan Day in the game. They got Mike Norvell in the game. They've got other great head coaches in the game, and then obviously those two right there, the two youngins, those two young stars,
Yep.
Ryan Williams from Alabama, Jeremiah Smith, who probably may win the Heisman from
Hmm.
Ohio State. They're on the cover. So Carter, so do you think they deserve to be on the cover?
Yeah, I think they deserve to. They're both
Right.
really hard workers, and they deserve it.
Yeah, most definitely. Jeremiah Smith from the South Florida area. He's a dog. He's a dog, and he's gonna look to give Ohio State their back-to-back national championship indeed. So away from the football, let's talk about the basketball here. So today it was just announced the NBA Cup group draw results was today. They they how do you say this? They made it up today in regards to the group draw. So on West A, you got the Timberwolves, you got the OKC Thunder, you got the Phoenix Suns, you got the Kings, and you got the Utah Jazz for the West A. B, Mavericks, Clippers, Lakers, Grizzlies, Pelicans. For the West C, you got the Nuggets, the Warriors, Rockets, Blazers, Spurs. That's for the West side. East side, you got the Hawks, Cavs, Pacers, Raptors, Wizards. For East B, you got the Celtics, Nets, Pistons, Magic, Sixers. And then last but not least, you got East C with the Hornets, Bulls, Heat, Bucks, and Knicks. So Carter, so which division here is going to be the toughest division to play in?
I think West C is going to be the toughest one
Hmm?
because the Spurs got a lot of new players, and the Rockets just got Kevin Durant, so I think he's going to start playing a lot better. The Warriors lost Kevin Looney. The Trailblazers got some new players, and the Nuggets got Cam Johnson. So I think that's going to be a really tough one.
Yes, most definitely. West C, they're going to be a little, you got the Rockets, you got the Warriors, you got the Nuggets. And then, that West C is going to be a little, whoever gets out of there, is going to, for probably two teams might make it to the playoffs here because here's how the NBA Cup works. Obviously, you got to win your pool first, one from A, one from B, one from C. And then obviously, you have the wild card teams that make it and they make the playoff. And that's how the playoff works. And Carter, so guess who won the NBA Cup last year?
It was the. I forgot it. The Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks. Yeah, the Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, man, Milwaukee with Giannis. They won it. I believe they beat OKC to win the NBA Cup in Las Vegas. Yeah, so that's where the semifinals and the finals will be this year. So Carter, so let's make these predictions here, and very early predictions because this doesn't go on to like October, So who wins West A?
I think OKC is gonna win it.
OKC. Okay, the reigning champs. All right, the reigning champs of the whole NBA, the NBA Finals, not just the NBA Cup. Who wins West B?
I think the Lakers could do something.
So
They just got DeAndre Ayton.
They did indeed.
I think they can do something.
So you got the Lakers winning West B.
Yep, I do.
All right. Okay, so who you got winning West C? The division you said was the toughest.
I think I got the Rockets on that.
The Rockets? Why? Okay, why the Rockets?
They got Kevin Durant, Amen, Thomas. So I think they're all gonna ball out and play their best and win.
Yeah, definitely. So some people say the NBA Cup, is for these teams like the Rockets, the Blazers, the Spurs, just to, how do you say this, compete, obviously, because they might not make the playoffs. Obviously the Western Conference is packed, obviously. So this is probably the only chance the Rockets, Blazers, and Spurs will have to win in something. So the Rockets going to win West C, Carter, right?
Yep.
All right, so that's for the West. Who you got winning East A?
I think the Pacers are gonna win this one.
Pacers? Why the Pacers?
I forgot. I forgot that Halliburton got hurt. So
Yes. Unfortunately, Halliburton did get hurt. Yeah, East A, they're probably not the best competitive, but who who do you think is going to win the East A?
I think it's going to be the Hawks.
Why the Hawks?
I just feel like they're gonna play great. Everybody's gonna play great. No injuries, and I think they're all gonna play great.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, they do have Trey Young. They do
Yep.
have Kristaps Porzingis there in Atlanta. And yeah, Atlanta, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with, most
hmm
definitely, in the East. Okay, so who you got in East B?
Ooh. Um, I think the Pistons could do something maybe.
Yeah, the Pistons, they're definitely a great team. So you got the Pistons?
Yep, I got the Pistons.
Why the Detroit Pistons?
I think Cade Cunningham's gonna go off, and I think they're just gonna win it. The chemistry, and they're gonna win it. Play their
Yeah,
best.
most definitely. The Pistons, they gave a series to the Knicks there. They obviously have the other half of the Thompson twins, Asar over there in Detroit. They just acquired Duncan Robinson in Detroit.
Yeah.
So yeah, uh, so I think the Pistons they can compete. They can compete for sure. Obviously, yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. East C. Okay, so who you got winning East C?
I think the Knicks got it
The Knicks. Why the Knicks?
because they just got Jordan Clarkson, and I think he's gonna go off. Also, Jalen Brunson, he's gonna start cooking too. But I think they're really gonna win it all for them.
Yeah,
For
definitely the
that.
New York Knicks. They have head coach Mike Brown now.
hmm
They did get Jordan Clarkson. They're keeping that team. They're creating that culture over there in New York. Okay, so you got the Knicks, Pistons, Hawks. Then for West A, you got OKC, the Lakers, and then the Rockets. All right, right.
Yep.
Okay, so scratch the NBA Cup. Okay, so who do you think? Okay, very early prediction. Who do you got winning the West next year?
Hmm. Um, I think OKC could probably do it
So okay, so why OKC?
because I think OKC is gonna do it because they are defending champions, and I think Shea is gonna play really good. The Lakers could do something, but they're not gonna beat OKC. Yeah, I think OKC is gonna win it all for that West side.
Okay. Yeah, obviously the Western Conference, pretty deep. You got the T Wolves there, OKC, the Mavericks with Cooper Flag. They're instant playoff contenders. You got the Clippers, Lakers, Nuggets, Warriors, Rockets. Probably the Spurs can get in there. So the West, pretty deep there for the West. Okay, so who you got winning the Eastern Conference?
Ooh. I think the Pistons.
The Pistons winning the East. Okay, so why the Pistons?
So I think the Pistons are going to win it because they beat almost half of these teams already, and it'll be a really good matchup against the Knicks. And I think Cade is gonna go off, and Duncan's gonna shoot the ball really well, and they're gonna win the East side.
So who do you got in the Eastern Conference Finals? You got Pistons and Knicks.
Yep.
Okay, so Pistons, Knicks. You got the Pistons there. Okay, so who does OKC play in the Western Conference Finals?
I think the Mavs have a chance.
So the Mavericks.
hmm
Okay, interesting indeed. All right, guys. So that's the NBA Cup. Yeah, so that's the NBA Cup. That's all the pools, the group draws, and everything. All right, so let's move on to what's current going on right now is the Summer League. There's two summer leagues going on. You got one in Utah, the California Classic. You got Bronny James and the Lakers 2-1, along with the Miami Heat 2-1, Spurs 1-2, Golden State 1-2, and then how about Ace Bailey's team, Carter 3-0? They're
Yeah,
3-0, and then everyone else is 1-2. So what? So what pops out to you here?
um, I feel like the Sixers should be up there because VJ Edgecombe has been playing really good, and I think he's gonna have another great game and catch up back to that first spot.
Yeah, VJ Escombe, he's really good out of Baylor. He was a really good guy. Okay, so that's for Utah side. So what do you think about the California Classic there?
Um, the Lakers could keep doing something. They just gotta keep winning. Um, yeah, I think they could do it on that side.
Okay, yeah, obviously the Lakers, they do have Bronny James
Mm-hmm.
playing there. They obviously they beat the Heat by a large margin when they played. So they're both 2-1. So that's what's going on right now in the summer league. They're both tied, and obviously Utah, they are just blowing out the
Yeah.
others in their home Utah, summer league Utah. So yeah, so that's what's going on there in the summer league. That is what's going on in the summer league for Utah and California. All right. So going on tonight is the Creator Cup, NBA Creator Cup for all you guys, for all you young guys. All social media people. You got Mark Phillips, Team Mark Phillips. He'll be the coach, and then you got Tristan Jazz over for the other side. So for Mark Phillips, you got Jada Bovero, Bree Green, DeAdrian Harden, Marcellus Howard, J Dub, Trey Phillips, Duke Skywalker, and Chris Staples. That's for Mark Phillips' side. Then for T Jazz, you got Jenna Bandy, Bajorn Broman, CC, Christopher London, Mecca, Pika, YPK Ray, and obviously Mr. Rodwave Elite, Cam Wilder, obviously. So Carter, who do you got winning the PlayStation NBA Creator Cup?
I got Team Jazz winning this one.
Team Jazz. Why Team Jazz?
I feel like YPK Ray is gonna do something. Um, see Mecca play and Cam Wilder too, and I think they're all gonna play good.
Okay. T Jazz, he's amazing at what he does. Mark Phillips, he's a really funny guy. He's the one that, he's pretty funny with his
Mm-hmm.
YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I'm 40s too, or something like that with LeBron or something like that, like Thanos or something like that. Remember that clip with
Yeah.
he got like overreacted or something like that. What, like, he reacts like James Harden going to the Nets and he say, I'm 40, 42, like I'm not Thanos, like that viral clip. So yeah, so he's pretty funny. He's a pretty funny guy. He's obviously there in the NBA Creator Cup. T Jazz, he's really good. He's a really good content creator. He's known for them trick shots. He goes to different arenas, does those crazy trick shots. He does not do them first try, guys. There's no way he does it first try. Obviously, that's basically impossible because he does it like Carter. He does that from like
Yeah.
high up in the arena. Like he does bounce off the walls between the legs and like tries to bounce it on the court. Like he
Yeah.
bounced the ball on the court and then he tries to make it in. There's no way he does that first try.
Mm-hmm.
No way. Yeah, man. So Cam Wilder, obviously, he's the coach of Rodwave Elite. He was actually down here for Ball on the Beach.
Yeah.
They had their separate court. The Rodwave Elites, the True Heights, the Gremlin Universities. That group. They had their own little court. Their little showcase court for everyone to see. At Balling on the Beach. Christopher London, he's pretty well known for he's on Bucket Squad. With DeAdrian Harden, he's a really funny person on social media, on YouTube. He's a pretty funny person, content creator wise. And yeah, so that's the NBA Creator Cup in Las Vegas. That's actually going on in about a few minutes, 7 p.m. West Coast time in Las Vegas. So in about a few minutes, Carter, they're gonna go down in Las Vegas. All right. And obviously on the call, you have FaZe Rug and Jesser. They're going to be on the call. Live on YouTube, guys. Live on YouTube. and on the NBA app. All right. All right. So let's get into one more here. Hopefully, let's get into one more before we get into the Q&A. Okay, so we talked about this in the previous episode, but Carter, I want to get your reaction to this 3-team trade, involving the Clippers, Jazz, and Heat. Obviously, the Clippers, they got Norman Powell. The Jazz, they got Kevin Love, Kyle Anderson, and a 2027 Clippers second-round pick. But my co-host, he did inform me that the Jazz are trying to buy out Kevin Love's contract, so he might not be with the Jazz. So it's going to be Kyle Anderson and a 2027 second-round pick. And the Miami Heat, they get Norman Powell. So, Carter, what's your reaction to this 3-team trade?
I feel like it was kind of crazy. Norman Powell is really good. It will be a great addition to Miami. John Collins also really good. And yeah, I think they're going to really help them a lot.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. So who do you think won in this trade here? Was it the Heat, the Clippers, or the Jazz?
I think it's the Heat.
Why the Miami Heat?
Because Norman Powell is a really good player on offense and defense. His ability to shoot the ball and get his teammates open.
Okay. Yeah, definitely Norman Powell in Miami. That's a really big acquisition for the Heat. They bring him in, put Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo in that equation. Anything can happen in the Eastern Conference. There's a wide open Eastern Conference. Anybody can win the Eastern Conference. Obviously, we all know about Boston with Jason Tatum, Carter. He suffered it, against the Knicks. Tyrese Halliburton, he got hurt as well, in the NBA Finals. And then obviously we all know about Damian Lillard. He got hurt as well. Mm-hmm. And also, I don't know if you guys know, but a little bit of a coincidence, I guess you can say. But guess what number all of them were wearing, Carter?
0.
Number 0. Yes. Yeah, so I actually saw that on social media that all of them were wearing number 0, and it was like, how do you say this? Like a superstition that number 0 is like an unlucky number, that you might get hurt, that you might get like injured, like badly, like tear Achilles and stuff like that. Like obviously we don't wish anybody on that, obviously, because it's bad, obviously, but it happens unfortunately, and they're gonna be out for their teams. So obviously you got the Knicks up there, which personally, in my opinion, they might win the East because of their experience, because of Jalen Brunson, the Karl Anthony Towns, Jordan Clarkson, who they just got, Josh Hart, that squad in New York, who is experienced, made the Eastern Conference Finals this past year, lost to the Pacers. They come back. I feel like they're going to come back and, try and, win the East. But obviously, out there in that West, I think Oklahoma City, they're trying to build a dynasty there, Carter. Like they got SGA, they've got Chet, who they just signed, by the way. I just saw, I think he got signed for like $280 million or something like that. Yeah. So he'll be staying there. But yeah, Oklahoma City, they're here and they're here to stay. Let's just say that. All right. So, and then also, I didn't put an overlay for this one because it was pretty much last minute, but Devin Booker just signed a 2-year extension with the Phoenix Suns. As you guys know, Phoenix, they're on a little bit of a rebuild stage here because they got rid of Kevin Durant, and there's basically no one besides Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. So the Phoenix Suns, they're going through it right now. Let's just say that. Yeah. They're going through a little rebuild indeed. All right, Carter. So that's it for sports topics. So let's get right into Q&A. You ready?
Yep.
All right, Carter. So first question here. Which side of the ball you like playing better, offense or defense?
Offense.
Why offense?
I love to do offense a lot more because I get the ability to get my teammates involved and keep my defender on their heels and attack them at the bucket.
I love that. Really good. All right. So what inspired you to play basketball?
My dad inspired me to play basketball. He was a collegiate athlete, played basketball, and he was really good, and he inspired me to play.
Okay, so what college did you play for?
William Penn.
William Penn. All right, that's good. That's good. Okay, so what is your favorite move on the basketball court?
I love to do a tween hang cross.
Tween hang cross. Okay, very unique. A very unique move. All right. All right. So, what are your strengths as a basketball player?
My strengths are shooting and my ability to tag people and score at the bucket.
Okay, so shooting, and then you like to like body people, I guess,
Yeah,
right?
attack them.
And attack. All right, that's good. That's good. All right. So, what is one thing in your game that you want to improve on?
My handling. Get my handling a lot better and keep working on it.
All right. Yeah, most definitely ball handling. As a point guard, got to be, ball handling's got to be key. You know what I mean, to control the offense. You know what I mean. All right. So, what is your training/practice schedule like during the week?
I go Monday through Friday, 2 p.m.
Okay. So Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Right. And then I'm assuming on the weekends you have like games and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, trainings and games. If I have no games, then I'll do training. If I have games, then I'll do games.
All right. Yeah. I love that. I love it. All right. So, what motivates you to keep chasing your dreams?
Confidence is key. If you believe in it, you're going to do it.
I love that. I love that advice. Most definitely. You gotta. I love it. I love it. All right. So, what do you do to mentally prepare for a game?
I sit in my room in silence. Sometimes listen to music and just get ready for the game.
All right. Right. So what's your favorite music to listen to?
I like to listen to Future.
Future, Future. Okay. So, what's your favorite song from Future?
Oath.
Oath. All right. All right. All right. That's cool. All right. So, what is the best game performance you've ever had?
My best performance was 35 points.
35 points. So, was this like recently or was it like
It was a long time ago, maybe like a month ago.
a month? Okay. So was this like an out of town tournament or
Yeah, it was out of town,
oh, we're at
California.
California. Okay. Okay. That's cool. Okay. So, like, how many threes you made in that game?
4 threes.
Four threes. All right. That's cool. That's very good. Four threes. Most definitely. All right. So, what do you like most about the team you're playing on right now?
The most I love about my teammates right now is our chemistry playing with each other. My center, he'll get open and score, and I have a lot of shooters. If I kick it out to them, they'll make the three, and we just have really good chemistry together.
Chemistry very, really, really important, and and for a team to be successful, everyone's got to play the rules. You know what I mean? So the shooters got to be shooters, drivers got to be drivers, and obviously the bigs got to rebound and obviously do them. You know what I mean? For a team to be very successful, if everyone does their role, easily a team could be very successful. So, who do you idolize your game to?
I idolize my game to Shea
Okay, so why Shay?
because my physicality to defenders and his moves and just my moves to get the defender on their heels and just score the bucket.
Yeah, most definitely most definitely because he likes to use his body a lot. Like he likes to use his body, gets to the basket, People call him like a little foul baiter, and
Yeah,
yeah, and a lot of people call him foul baiter, but he's using his body and he's just doing him out there and that's why he won
yeah,
MVP. He won NBA MVP, he won a scoring title, something like that. He NBA Finals MVP, won a champion, and then just announced, by the way, he's gonna be on the cover of NBA 2K26.
yeah,
Wow, what a storybook!
hmm
Like imagine having all those accomplishments, Carter. Like
yeah,
Finals MVP, championship, you win regular season MVP, and now you're on the cover. That is a dream. That
yeah.
that's just storybook right there. That's just amazing, amazing. All right, so if you had to pick any NBA team to play on right now, who would it be and why?
I would choose the Lakers because I always been rooting for the Lakers, and I'd love to play with LeBron and all those players, and it'd be really good and
Yeah,
really
most
fun.
definitely. Yeah, most definitely. He's his time's running out, unfortunately, and I really hate for him to leave.
Yeah, me too.
So so what is your like how do you say this? Like, how are you gonna feel when he leaves the league?
It's not going to be the same.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're in the end of an era here. Curry's
Yeah.
getting old, Durant's
Yeah.
getting old. But we have the young guys coming up. We got Anthony Edwards coming. We got Shea coming up. We got all these young guys coming up, especially in these small markets like Minnesota, the OKCs, the
Yeah.
Indianas. Perry's coming back, and I love it. I love it indeed. All right, so do you like watching NBA or college basketball better, and why?
I like watching NBA better because the pace of NBA is a lot faster paced, and I just love it a lot more, and the games are a lot more exciting to watch.
So NBA better than college basketball?
Yep.
All right, all right. So that's your opinion. All right. That's cool. Okay, so would you rather dunk like John Morant or shoot like Steph Curry?
Shoot like Steph Curry because I already have a good shooting ability, but I don't have the best shooting ability like Curry.
Yeah, Curry definitely. He's the best shooter. Definitely best shooter, especially in his prime too. Especially in
Yeah.
his prime, he was going crazy. And I would say he's probably the most influential player, in the NBA
Yeah.
because when he started shooting the long range threes, everybody shot long range threes.
Hmm.
When everybody shoot threes, when everybody was shooting threes, everybody would be saying Curry, and then
Yeah.
shooting them. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
he's definitely influential indeed. So would you rather be the tallest player or the fastest player?
The fastest player because there's tall and slow defenders, and I can use my speed to blow by them and score the ball.
Most definitely. Okay, so one quick question. So, how would you feel to play against Victor Wembanyama, the tallest player?
Ooh. That'd be really competitive because I can't drive to the paint or else I'm gonna get blocked. So I have to use my shooting ability to score on him and not drive and shoot the ball.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. He's tall and wide too. So,
Mhm.
so whenever you gotta like step back, you gotta really step back
Yeah,
to get out of his, his how do you say his range to
yeah.
block because he got wide range. So you gotta watch out for that whenever you're playing Wembanyama. So, what are your long-term goals as a basketball player?
My long-term goals are to be in the NBA and be the best basketball player possible.
I love it. I love it. So, okay, so maybe a little bit early for this, but and is there any colleges like any college basketball teams that you're looking at and saying like, oh, like you're interested in, basically?
I want to go to UCLA or USC.
UCLA or USC? Well, you do know they're rivals, right?
Yeah.
Big rivals,
Mhm.
indeed. My co-host actually went to USC, so
Mm.
whenever he comes on, if you say UCLA, he may not like you.
Yeah.
Basically. All right. So besides basketball, what other sport would you try and why?
I would try lacrosse because I can use my speed and I can use my toughness to get through defenders and score.
Lacrosse. Yeah, very interesting. You choose lacrosse because sometimes when we interview basketball players, they say, "Oh, I want to try football or baseball, like the big four sports." Like definitely playing lacrosse. It's very interesting. You know what I mean? Obviously lacrosse is not a big sport, but it's a sport, obviously. So yeah. Okay, so last question, Carter. Oh no, actually two more questions. Actually,
Okay.
first question: what are your favorite hobbies / interests to do outside the basketball court?
My favorite hobbies are to do art and spend time with my family, go on hikes and adventures, and read my devotional book. And I love to read and to continue in learning more about God.
Amen. Most definitely. Put God first, obviously. He's always first. Reading, obviously, it's very good. Like even outside of school, if you read, it puts knowledge into your brain. Like like with with whatever book you read, like it kind of puts knowledge into your brain. It makes you
Yeah.
smarter. Definitely, definitely that's good. Art, calms you down. I actually take art in high school. That's my soft class.
Yeah.
To relax my mind and all that. Obviously you have all these tense classes like the readings, all those core classes.
Yeah.
Like I have art, just to calm me down, and all that. And hiking definitely very important.
Mm.
Breathe the outside air. It's amazing. Going hiking, most definitely. Okay, so last question here. If you had to meet any sports athlete, it could be basketball, football, baseball, any sport, who would it be and why?
Um, I would meet Kyrie because I always love to watch his games, his quickness and his finishes, and he's such a great player off the court, and I would love to meet him.
Most definitely, great person off the court. Like, yeah, yeah, great person off the court. On the court, he's amazing. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Okay, so that's it for the Q&A. It sounds like Coach T ain't gonna be here. So, okay, so let's get right into the show and tell. Carter, you ready for the show and
Yep.
tell? The most favorite part in our show here, the show and tell. We get to show your content. Explain your story. It, like for example, if you have accomplishments to share, like for example, if you have rings, you have trophies, you can show that off as well. And just explain all that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Okay, so let's get into it, shall we? All right. All right, so let's get into your first photo here. All right, so you won a trophy there.
Yep.
So explain your story to this.
It was a tough tournament. A lot of great teams. It was really competitive, and we did our best. We lost one game, but we brung it home. It
Yeah,
was
most
good.
definitely, winning a championship trophy, that's definitely most important at the end of the day. You can lose one game, two games, but if you win a championship, that's all that matters.
Mhm.
So was that in California?
Yeah, it was in California.
Interesting. All right. So let's get into your second pick here. Oh wow. Okay, so explain your story to this.
So we were going to eat at dinner, and then we were on Sunset Boulevard, and we saw this nice view back there. So I went to go take a picture.
Wow, yeah, Sunset Boulevard. Very famous street over there in Los Angeles. Yeah, and that skyline looks very amazing in the background. That
Hmm.
skyline. Yeah, most definitely amazing. I was actually in California one time, like a few years back. Because my brother he was in the phenom camp over in San Diego.
Hmm.
So he got invited to San Diego, so we flew over to San Diego, and that was actually my first time ever flying actually to California.
Really?
Yeah, first time ever flying from South Florida. We flew from South Florida to Dallas, Dallas to San Diego. First time ever in California. It was very amazing. In San Diego. Unfortunately, we couldn't go to Los Angeles because
Yeah.
I don't know why, because time constraints. I think. So yeah, so definitely it was an experience. Definitely for the West Coast, it was a great experience in San Diego, and yeah, it was very amazing over
Hmm.
there in San Diego. Hopefully, one day we go to Los Angeles. Hopefully,
Yep.
one day, hopefully down the line. All right, so who is that right there?
That is AJ Store. He plays on Ole Miss right now.
All right. So he plays college basketball, huh?
Yeah.
Ole Miss in the SEC. So how is it like meeting a college basketball player?
It felt really cool to see college basketball player. He's really talented on the court, and he's a really good person.
All right, all right. That's cool. That's cool. So did you get any advice from him, or
He said, just whenever times are hard, just keep pushing through, and you'll achieve them.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, definitely from a college basketball player, that's valid. Most definitely. Especially if he plays at a big time school like Ole Miss. That's very valid.
Yeah.
Indeed, indeed. So was that in California as well?
No, it was here. I was at their his family's house, and
Mm.
he came over, and we just talked.
Oh wow. Okay, so are you like related to him or?
I'm related to his dad, and my brother's friends with his sons, and we're really close to them.
Oh wow. Very amazing. Very amazing indeed. Very good. Very good. All right. So what's this right here? Core Prep Academy.
That's my basketball program. I'm going to in LA. We were walking, and we went past the school, and I got a picture in front of it.
All right. That's very good. Core Prep Academy. All right. So shout out to Core Prep Academy. And by the way, you can give shout outs as well. As many shout outs as you can. You want to shout out your coaches, your parents, your teammates. You do whatever you want. So you can shout out those type of people.
Okay.
Right? All right. So let's get into the next one here. Okay. So shooting a shot here. Was this a make or miss?
It was a make all net.
All net. I love it. I love it. So what? So where was this at?
This was here in Vegas.
Ooh, Vegas. Vegas. Okay, interesting. I was actually in Vegas last year.
Really?
Very hot. It was very hot in Vegas.
Yeah, it's really hot here.
Yeah, in Vegas. Yeah, when I was there, I've actually heard about Vegas. It was very hot. It was like in the desert. When I walked out of that airport, desert air. When I was like, wow, like I live in South Florida. With the humid. But that's a different type of hot. Like Las
Yeah.
Vegas is in the desert. But that's desert heat right there. And I was like, oh my god, that's awful. I was
Yeah.
like, some bad heat. But besides that, it was an experience in Las Vegas. Especially at night, the Las Vegas Strip. I actually saw that the lights and everything. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing indeed. And by the way, we have two of our guests going there that were previous guests on our show. They're actually going to Vegas. Keelan, shout out to Keelan and Swaggy J. Jace Valdez, they're going to Vegas as well. San Antonio Fadeaway, they're going there for a tournament. So so they're going to be there in that hot desert heat. So hopefully they enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right. So what's this over here? Is this like a tournament?
Yeah, it was a tournament.
All right. So what tournament was it?
I don't remember the name, but it was in California. It was a really competitive tournament.
Very competitive. All right. Okay. Interesting. All right. Okay, so that's you with the braids. All right. You're rocking the braids here. All right.
Yeah.
I love it. So do you like wearing braids or no?
No, I like to wear my curly hair a lot more. I don't have to keep an eye on it. I can just let it free.
Curly hair. All right. Interesting. So explain your story to this. So you with the fam here, I'm assuming?
Yeah, this was by Santa Monica Pier.
Ooh, Santa Monica Pier. I've actually heard some stuff, about Santa Monica Pier. It's beautiful over there in Santa Monica. Nice. Was definitely, that's definitely a spot you got to visit whenever you're over there in California. Santa Monica Pier. That's amazing place. The beach over in Santa Monica, the pier, amazing over there in California. Okay, so that's it for the photos. For the photo portion, that's one half of the photo portion for this show and tell. And now, Carter, we actually show your viewers why you're elite, why you're so elite, why you're on the show, and basically why you're so elite. All right, so let's get right to it here. So let's get right to it. All right, so you ready for your first clip?
Yep.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, Carter, let's go!
Ooh, for three. So where was that at?
That was here in Vegas.
Vegas. Yeah. When I was actually in Vegas, we actually played there actually at that place.
Really?
Yeah, right there at that place.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's actually next to, how do you say it, the Strip? I think Las
Yeah,
Vegas.
it's right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I actually played there actually in Las Vegas. We made it to, how do you say that? I think the Elite Eight or something like that. We lost and then played a game and then that was it. Basically, that was like a consolation game and all that. But yeah, so pretty nice three. Pretty nice three there. Very amazing three. All right, so let's get into your next clip. Wow, sidestep three, Carter, right? Sidestep. Wow. So why did you hit that sidestep three?
I was just feeling it. He was fading back, so I just took one dribble step back, made it.
So the confidence, right?
Yeah, confidence.
Yeah, when you have confidence, it's like you can do anything that you want, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. All right, let's get into your next one.
Good pass, Carter! Good pass, let's go!
All right, so you hit an assist there too?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you're doing everything. Assists, shooting, that's amazing, especially for the next level too, for high school. That's crucial. Like as a point guard, you gotta give assists, you gotta be a bucket, That's very amazing right there. Like that shows an amazing future coming, most definitely. All right, so let's get into your next clip here.
Good, Carter!
And one.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw you were using your inside hand there.
Yeah.
Right on the left side. So what were you thinking trying to drive in that baseline there?
That kid was really huge. He played tackle football.
Oh,
He grabbed my whole entire face, and I just threw it up there.
damn, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, those bigs that play tackle, oh my gosh, like stay in tackle, like stay over there. Like if you're gonna play basketball, like obviously it's a physical sport, but don't be too physical now.
Yeah.
Like don't be too physical. Like you know what I mean? So a pretty nice and one, and obviously you gotta finish with the free throw, and that's what you did there, obviously. Very good job. Okay, let's get into your next clip.
Good, let's go!
Very nice bounce pass there. So yeah, very nice bounce pass. Very good bounce pass there. Very good, very good. So what were you thinking when you were driving there, trying to drive?
It was a big kid, so I saw him step up, and I saw he was open, so I passed him and made the layup.
I love that. I like. Yep. Obviously, when he steps up, boom, pocket pass. All right, so let's get into the next clip.
Good, Carter, let's go!
Defense transition into offense. I love it. Yeah, right there. Defense, right into offense. So yeah, and I love it right there. Obviously you got to get that steal, make that left hand layup, and make that layup. Indeed. So what was going through your mind in that play when you got that steal and then you were trying to go down for a transition layup?
I knew going off 1 foot wasn't going to be the right play because the kid was really fast, and I knew he was going to strip the ball, so I used my 2 feet and pump fake so I can go right up, and you can't get it.
Yes, most definitely. 2 feet is very crucial, when you get to the next level. Like my coaches always say this all the time. Land on 2 feet because you can do so much when you land 2 feet. You can, you can step through, you can do like a lot of things when you do 2 feet because you're balanced. Because you're balanced, and you can basically do anything. That is very important for the next level. And in 2 feet, that is very amazing indeed. All right, so let's get into your next clip here. 7 seconds.
Good, Carter.
Wow, contested shot. Wow, so what were you thinking when he came up there to contest?
I thought he was gonna block it, but he was pretty slow, so I got it off in time before he could block it.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, obviously when you contest, some people like to drive because obviously they're afraid they're gonna get blocked. And I really like your confidence trying to shoot it over him. That is confidence right there. I love it. I love it indeed. All right, let's get into the next clip. 8 seconds long.
Yeah, Lee. Good pass, Carter.
Wow, very nice pass. So what were you thinking going through that whole sequence?
I saw he was way ahead of me, and then I saw the defender was right there, and no one was guarding him. So then I hit it, and he got the layup.
It was definitely I love it. Yeah, I love it. I love it indeed. All right, so let's get into your next clip. 11 seconds long, so a little bit longer here, but let's watch.
Yeah, Carter.
Yeah, amazing steal, coast to coast. So what were you thinking? So what were you thinking in that whole sequence?
The game was very intense, so I just saw the big kid was coming at me. I thought he was gonna block it, but I was stronger than him, so I bumped into him and got the layup.
Okay, yeah, and I love that. Obviously you gotta use your body like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. You gotta use your body, make that layup. Very amazing indeed. All right, let's get into your next clip. About 8 seconds long. Wow. So what were you thinking there in that play?
I just blew by the defender, pump faked him, and went to the bucket. The big kid was coming, but I got it off in time.
Yeah, definitely in time because definitely if you didn't get it in time, that would have been, he would have been right there. But yeah, fortunately you got it off in time. Layup is good, That's very good indeed. All right, so let's get into your next clip. 12 seconds long, so a little bit longer.
Good, Carter.
Wow, the bravery and the courage to just drive there, Carter. So what were you thinking in that whole sequence there?
I caught it, and I was trying to dribble up, and then I saw that he was pretty slow, so I was trying to blow by him, and then I bumped right back in front of him and got the layup.
Okay, yeah, and also on that play there, they were actually running a press there, a 1-2-2 press. I believe I saw. So what do you see like in those presses? Like obviously you're a point guard, and obviously you see the floor, obviously, and all that type of stuff. So how do you see yourself breaking that press?
I use my speed and my court vision so I could see if anybody's open and blow by defenders to get my teammates involved.
Okay, very good, indeed. All right, so let's get into your next clip. 10 seconds long. Very nice reverse layup there. So what was going through your mind there in that sequence?
They were fouling me the whole entire game, so I was trying to be physical and get by them and score the layup.
Yeah, very good there because obviously they're trying to be physical. You gotta be physical right back, obviously. So obviously that's a very good job. All right, so let's get into your next clip here. 5 seconds long. So be quick with it. So that was a very nice dump off to your big there. So what was going through your mind during that whole thingy?
So I caught the ball in the corner. The guy was on me, and then I saw him cut to the basket, and it was in front of him. So then I got it to him, and he made the layup.
All right, Carter, but we do have somebody here that came in.
Somebody.
Little,
Somebody. Are you serious? You're gonna
little
introduce me
late.
as somebody?
a little late, but better late than never.
My bad, Carter. I didn't want to
Okay.
prolong your. I knew I was gonna run late. Um, I'm like stretched all over the place, boss.
Mhm.
But yeah, I had a game tonight. Had the ref and coach.
Mm.
So kind of went behind because the other team decided they didn't want to show up on time. So they held the game for like 20 minutes, which
Dang.
pissed me off. I'm like, just give us a forfeit. But it's all good. They at least had to play. So I was watching on my way home. I think Carlos did a good job.
Wow. Thank you, Tony.
I think Carlos did a good job. So excuse my tardiness, Carter, but welcome to the
Okay.
show.
Thank you.
Just a disclaimer here for the audience that's watching. All the guests that we put on here, I do my homework. I follow them for a while, do my research to make sure they all elite. So I've been following Carter for a while, and we had to make it happen. He's a busy man, so it's hard to get. A lot of these athletes be busy, so it's tough getting them scheduled. But we got him here, and he kind of looked different now, Carlos. I'm used to him with the braids.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was actually a picture of him with the braids, and yeah, and I guess he decided to go with the curls.
Yeah, he wants to be curly man.
Yeah,
All right, where do we leave off, Carlos?
we're at video 14.
All right, so let's get to. You just showed video 14.
No, we're at video 14 right now, so play that one.
All right, you ready, Carter? Let's get into your next clip.
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, for sure. Let's bring it up and let's get it. My man throwing dimes out here, like my man throwing dimes like Chris Paul. My man throwing dimes like Chris Paul. All right, so what event was that that you were in?
We were here in Vegas at a local gym. It was a pretty competitive tournament. We played up, and we did pretty good.
Of course, man. You was on the team. You was running the show. Of course, y'all did good, man. All right. Disclaimer. How bad did y'all smack them by?
40.
Jeez Louise. He gave him a 40 piece. You hear
Yeah.
that, Carlos? He gave him a 40 piece.
That's
Boneless. We gave him a 40 piece boneless wings. The buffalo. So what do you think about that one, Carlos?
that was pretty good. Yeah, ending was pretty good late.
All right. Let's get into the next one here from my man CP. Let's get it. See, I like this way because you get to control it. Let's go back. Let's go back to that hezzy. Man, for all y'all that having issues getting around defenders, take notes from my man CP right here. Watch how he sold this move and get around the defender was. Look at that. He was cooked already, right, Carter?
Yeah, he was.
He was cooked. He was all out of position. Didn't want to play. Carlos looking at that defensive stats. I know he's cringing because he knows that's
No,
terrible defense.
he's standing up. He's standing up. That's just embarrassing. That is an automatic blow by.
All y'all pay attention. Watch how he's sold the move.
And also took advantage of him standing up. By the way, that's very good.
And attack that hole with authority.
Yeah, indeed.
So we kind of spoiled it. We kind of described what you saw, but let's tell us in your own words, like what you saw there in that clip.
I saw that the defender was on his he was standing up, so I already knew that I could just blow by him and use my speed to get to the bucket.
So why you didn't just go out there and do those Kyrie Irving moves, show off your handles and all that, man? Why you didn't do all that?
I just wanted to get to the bucket, not show off, just get by him.
Yep. See, that's why he's on the next level, man. You don't need to use all that extra energy for nothing. Get to the rim with less dribbles as possible. That'll get you a lot of offers.
Yeah.
That'll get you a lot of offers. All right, Carlos, go ahead and bring in video 16.
16.
Yeah, come on, man. You the man.
Right hand drive. Yeah, right hand drive with authority. That's an amazing job right there, Carter. So what was going through your mind in that play?
I saw that there's a wide open gap because they weren't talking on the screen. So I was using my speed to blow by and finish on the defender.
See, man, you're schooling a lot of them, man.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell them talk on defense.
Exactly. Talk on the screen. That is very important because the defender needs to know if they're going to switch or they're going to stay. Because if they don't know, that's easily, can break a defense right there just by not talking. So
yeah, so school them a little bit while I load up the next one. School them a little bit on how underrated it is talking on defense. Carter.
Okay. You just gotta talk on the screens, and if you don't call on the screens, you're just gonna get blown by and scored on.
By a person like CP that understands. My man. Carlos, how many times you done blew up screens?
Blew up probably a lot.
On defense. My man's a screen eater.
Yeah, a lot.
My man, see that screen in front of him, he's feasting.
And also there's been a lot of times where I have to go around the screen, where I'm guarding the ball handler and have to go around it. There has to be times. There were times where I have to do that.
Make sure you ain't guarding the shooter.
Yeah.
He just step back and true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
All right, you ready for the next one? Yeah, these are all short clips. So this one, I forgot which one I loaded.
17.
This is not 17.
Oh.
I don't know. Let's just play it. Oh yeah, it is. Oh, it was 17. Carlos, you good, man.
Yeah, floater.
So walk us through that last clip, CP.
I was bringing the ball up. The team wasn't that good, so we were pretty much blowing them out. I used my move to blow by him, and nobody stepped up, so I just did the floater. Blew by him easily.
Just take what the defense give you. See?
Yeah.
That's what he's doing, taking what the defense give him.
Exactly.
All right, let's get into the next one. Oh, man. What did you do to him?
I didn't do anything. We was fouling the whole entire game.
My man hit you with a WWF move. Pro wrestling. He said, boom. Man, was you okay? Was you
Yeah, I
shaking?
was. Mhm.
You like you built tough. You just gotta
Mhm.
shook it off. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What event was that at though? By the way,
That was here in Vegas.
Vegas. Okay. Speaking of, well, we'll wait till after we finish your show and tell, and then tell you we gotta we talk about that big event that's in Vegas this weekend.
Yeah, Bigfoot.
Yeah. Oh, we will get into it. We'll get into it, Carter. We'll get into it because we got a lot of our past guesses down there.
Hmm.
We'll get into it, but let me go ahead. We got about 10 more to go. Let's go into clip 19. My man was serious about his clips.
Yeah.
My man was serious. All right, here we go. He reminds me of your brother.
Hmm.
Yeah. A very nice
Yeah,
tough move.
yeah. He doesn't waste dribbles though. That's one thing that he has in common with your brother. Y'all don't waste moves. Um that's why your brother may started varsity as a freshman, and that's why he has all these. That's why he's getting all these offers right now. He doesn't waste dribbles. He gets to
Yeah.
his spots, and I'm seeing Carter does the same thing.
Yeah.
So great job shooting the defender. So he protect the ball of course, and got in there. And tell him that was light work, right, CP?
Yeah, it was.
All right, let's get into the next. I need to hurry up and load these. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that one. Let's back it up here. Okay, you actually could have took that shot here.
Mhm.
Um, but what made you kick it to the corner?
I saw that those two defenders were coming up, so I saw he was wide open in the corner.
It's high IQ.
Yeah.
That's high IQ, man. And he's only 11 years old, y'all. 11 years old. That's stuff like older upperclassmen make decisions like that. Because normally what I see at your age, not trying to over talk, but don't I see at your age when they see this,
Hmm.
what they're doing 9 times out of 10, Carter.
They gonna shoot and get blocked.
They're either gonna try to force that shot or take it right to the basket.
Hmm.
But that was next level clutch. Carlos's favorite word. Clutch. What do you think about that, Carlos?
That was a pretty nice move. He drove. Obviously he saw the corner guy. That is very smart IQ. Especially at a young age. Being unselfish. That is just amazing.
Shout out to Baltimore Bruce. Says smart play, young man. Yep. High IQ. Let's show him some more of your high IQ.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Coast to coast.
All right. So what did you see here?
It was a huge kid. He was 14 years old in a 12U tournament. So I got the ball. I was taking it down court. I knew he was gonna try to block it, so I used 2 feet and pump faked and went right up.
And what did you notice, Carlos? You a defensive. You love defense.
Wait, hold on. Let me.
I'm trying to play it slow. Like, what did you notice on this play that why Carter was able to go coast to coast? You see him?
Uh,
I know it's kind of small on your screen. I'm trying
what
to
now?
the whole play. Did anybody step up?
No.
were they filling the lanes correctly on defense?
Well, not really because
No.
what?
So that was a easy that was a easy coast to coast for him.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was.
Easy coast to coast. So y'all in the chat are seeing why Carter's on this show. And for your friends and family that's watching, Carlos, Carter,
Carter.
Hmm.
tell them it's okay to interact in the chat.
You
Tell them,
guys can talk in the chat if you want to.
yeah, man, let Carter know. Let Carter know who's here. He wants to know who's here. Say hi or something while we play the next one. All right, I'm about to play it now. Let's get it. That was a very very late whistle, but
Hmm.
this is this is what one thing I loved about this clip when I got it. I'm gonna freeze it here.
Very.
Um, if the D, if you were playing against Kobe Bryant, he would not have bid on that fake.
Hmm.
Because you know why? You were not in a shooting motion. You were in a
Yeah.
drive motion. So he knew you were gonna drive. But the defender was frozen because you probably hit a couple from that corner.
Yeah, I did.
So he was like confused what to do. But I like the jab. Let me. I'm trying to do it slow mo.
They hit a jab and then
I like the jab, and then you knew. I know I'm trying to. I'm not talking for you. You can explain it in your. But I knew you had the speed to get around them,
Hmm.
and that's exactly what you did. So you reach. Tell them, Carter. You reach. I teach.
Yep.
And then late whistle
you know
on the landing, but nice finish.
that was very risky. That block, that was a very risky block there. Like wow, like the bravery and curses shoot that over him.
Yeah.
That's some confidence right there. Because
That's why.
he jumped.
Was that the 14-year-old you were talking about?
Yeah, that's him.
Damn, 14-year-old playing 12-year-old. That's ridiculous.
Well,
Two age groups. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
that's that reclassing. What your coach always tell you when you playing against a kid that you know just reclass? Carter.
Um, just do the best you can and score on them. Just blow by them if you can.
Yeah, trying to embarrass him. Yeah,
Yeah, man, just show them show them the mistake they made and stepping on the court with you.
Hmm.
Like don't think it's gonna be easy because you playing down.
Yeah.
Like we tough too.
Hmm.
All right, I'm gonna get into the next one. You ready?
Yep.
All right, let's get it.
Stop.
Great ball movement. Bangers.
Hmm.
Great ball movement right there.
Yep.
yeah.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about the squad that you're playing here. Uh, wow, look at the score. They're up by 20 already.
20.
Yeah, they weren't that good.
Yeah, I just noticed the score. Never mind. Let's not talk up your opponent. They're down 20. All right. I'm gonna go and pull up the next one. We're almost there, Carter.
Okay.
Man, you got some amazing clips, man. Thank you for
Thank
these.
you. Hmm.
You ready, Carlos?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Turn around, Logan.
I like the dish. I like the dish to the corner. Um, you could have easily, you could have easily tried to force it in there, but it would have been a tough, tough alley,
Hmm.
tough lane. But you made the right play.
The
Yep.
smart move right there.
Yeah, the smart play. The smart play. And shout out to your teammate for knocking that down.
Yep.
Because you guys work on those contested shots all the time, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
Don't they take shots that they work on.
Hmm.
That is number one. All right, all right. Let's get ready for the next clip. I know we can barely see it, but it was a nice finish.
Hmm.
Not too much to digest on this one because yeah, we barely could see it. But what happened on that play is he drove in, had a nice lay at the end.
Hmm.
All right, you ready for clip 26?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, let's get it. There you go. You hear what they said? There you go.
Good exploded.
Now let's break this. Let's break this one down. CP. I know it was pretty quick,
Hmm.
but I don't know if y'all can see, but he has the ball out here on the wing, facing what, one or two defenders. Can't tell if it was two defenders or not.
Hmm.
But let's go ahead and break this down. I'm gonna play it slow. So you have the ball on the wing. Here you go. You're starting your move. All right. Now let's talk us through the rest of this play.
So I caught the ball up top. I saw the defender was running at me, so I went by him, and then I saw the big in the middle was sagging back, so I got the floater up, and then I made it.
And the rest is history, as they say.
Mhm.
Just take the ball out the net.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to clip 27. All right, let's get it. Uh-oh. I think he flexed on him at the end.
They gave me a tech for it.
Oh no, Tech.
Oh man, they taking the fun out the game, man.
Yeah.
That's what makes the game fun. The trash talk.
Hmm.
Nah. Nice tough finish. It was a really quick clip. But there's the drive. Oh, he did body to body.
Yeah, contested
Defender,
too.
defender was right there. That was not an easy lay at
Nope,
Yeah.
all.
that was not.
So it's impressive that you got the and one and the finish. So how often do your coaches get in your when you guys finish like that, get in your grill and make you shoot over those arms that they put in your face?
I love doing it because it like imagines it in the game. So if you work on it, you'll understand it and you can make it.
Yeah. We down to the final two. We in the championship, CP.
Yep.
We in the ship. Ready, Carlos, man?
Yeah.
Don't look like you about to punch me in the face right now.
No, I'm good.
All right,
I'm good.
let's get it. Mm. And walk us through this one.
So I caught it. No one was really guarding me, so I just one dribble three.
One dribble pull up. How many of those you shoot a day?
Like 300. The other 200 threes. So I get 500 shots a day.
So about 500 dribble pull ups is nothing.
Hmm.
All right, you ready for the last but not least?
Yep, I'm ready.
You ready, Carlos, for last but not least?
Let's go.
All right, let's get it.
Nice layup.
Nice breakaway finish.
Transition.
All right, so break this down. It looks
So
like
my
it.
teammate got the skill.
Yeah, for turnover. All right. So what was going on in your mind here? You guys were foot race to the basket. So what was going on right here?
I saw that he was little, so I knew he wasn't gonna bottom me or anything, so I just went straight up.
Who got the advantage right here? You
Me,
guys.
I got the advantage. I'm a lot taller and stronger than him.
Oh yeah,
But when
yeah,
you went,
definitely.
but,
Yeah.
but as you know, Carlos, you're a defensive guy.
Huh?
When this happens, do you have a chance of stopping this play?
No. If I was the kid in the way, I would just swoop in front of him, and then I don't know, just without fouling, obviously. But
And then what I also like on your finishes is look at those. Look how big those steps were.
yeah,
Past the free throw, step one, step two. Look where step two landed. Right there below the block. And the finish. Man, those was thank you, Carter, man. That was
You're
a
welcome.
great Q&A, man. I mean
Thank
Q&A.
you.
Wow.
it's a good video.
Q&A was good, but that was a great show and tell. Man, I like your clips.
Thank you.
Not the only one. Miss Julie Stanton. Thank you, Julie. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it so everybody can see Carter. She said, "Great
Oh,
job, love the clips."
thank you. Thank you.
Um, Dad says you're an amazing at 11 years old. Shout out to
Thank you.
Pops. Um, he says you work out 3 times a day. Man, that's clutch.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Rick Tonda, please make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you for tuning in, Rick. Says he's really proud of you. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Man, that you got an amazing. So awesome Q&A, very informative. Um, great show and tell. So let's see. What do you think is next, CP?
Um. Um. Dang
I
it.
don't think he knows.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's like, man, quit torturing me. Just tell me.
I don't think he knows.
All right, CP. Let me ask you, which Carter is more deadly? Braids Carter or short hair Afro Carter? Which one is more deadly?
Afro.
He said that no hesitation, like Afro, bro.
He has a curly hair. Yeah.
All right. So this is a question I normally ask every one of my guests because you guys are all elite athletes. So I always ask him, there's a story behind the number that you choose. So obviously we know your number is 11.
hmm
So what was the story behind the reason you chose number 11?
My dad in college, he wore number 11, and he inspired me to wear number 11, and I still use it.
Amazing story. I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. And lastly, are you a shoe head?
Yes, I love shoes. I have so many pairs.
Yeah. Shout out to Dad for helping you
Thank you,
fulfill
Dad.
your but okay, you got a big event coming.
Yep.
So if you had to pack um your top three, no, I ain't gonna. I'm just like, what is the top three shoes, not including your slides or your Crocs, because I already know that's in the bag.
hmm
So, but if you had to take three shoes with you out of town, what's the top three that you bring with you?
So I got a pair of pink Tatums. I got all black Kobe 4s, and I also have my. Ooh, let me see. I also have my blue Tatums. I'd bring all those.
Okay, so my man loves Tatum.
Yeah,
My man, my,
just did.
my man that loves the chicken. And shout out to Cole, man. May he rest in peace. He's still inspiring the next generation.
Mm.
And you're making great basketball shoes because all of our guests have at least one pair. All right. You may, and I know you may have answered this question earlier in the Q and A because I know Carlos always asks this. But what is the player that inspires you?
Kyrie Irving inspires me as well. Shea and Kyrie.
Shea and Kyrie. Um, that's what's up. That's what's up. But Carlos,
Yeah.
you got a big has a big event coming up this weekend. Um, tell them real quick where you're going before you sign off. I know you got a plane to catch tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow in the afternoon. Tomorrow in the afternoon. Yeah. I'll be in Atlanta this weekend. I'll be in Atlanta this weekend. I'll be there next weekend. So for live period. So yeah, it's gonna be a big weekend this weekend in Atlanta. So
Wow.
hoping for some great things to happen. And yeah,
Yes, sir. Shout out to your brother. Thank you, Christian, for tuning in. But I guess he's gonna sign off. My man loves his sleep. Not trying to embarrass him. My man loves his sleep. But thank you, Christian, for tuning in. And that's
Thank
who
you.
I was talking about. That's his brother.
Hmm.
You got all right. So what we're gonna do? Carlos did an excellent job of monitoring time on your show. He got through this really, 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 really good. So thank you, Carlos.
you're welcome.
Thank you,
Um,
Carlos.
You're welcome.
let's see. Let's talk to your audience real quick. Um, let's see if we can get at least one or two of your friends or family to call in, or any viewer want to call in and talk to Carter. I'm going to put the link again in the chat, even though it's pinned at the top. Click that link and you'll come in and you can talk to Carter. You can ask them any questions, as long as they're on topic. We're not going to ask him we're not going to ask him his address. We're not going to ask him no personal questions, where he live, a school he go to. None, we're not going to do that unless he shares it on his own. But um, but go ahead and click that link. You can come in. You can ask him some questions, or just give him some words of encouragement, or tell him um, how'd you like his episode. We'll take about what? How many you want to take, Carlos? One or two?
Uh, it depends. One or two. It's probably one. Probably one due to time constraints. If the one's short, then we'll probably do another.
All right, you guys go ahead and click the link. All right. While we're waiting on that, my man Carlos always gives the guests um his his um his pointers about how he feel after reviewing all of your show and tell. So we're waiting on that, Carlos. Give Carter your feedback on the photos of the show and tell, and of course the highlights.
Uh, um, I thought the highlights were pretty good. The highlights were pretty good. Your IQ is very amazing,
Thank
Carter.
you.
Your IQ is very amazing. Especially at a young level, at a young age. Doing that is just some high level stuff, and that'll be really important for the next level, especially for high school. So keep doing your stuff. Landing on 2 feet. Being unselfish. That's the key thing, and that's crucial for for the next level. All right, Carter. So keep it up.
All right. Thank you.
And we'll give it about I'll give you about 30 more seconds for somebody to click the link that I just put in the chat to come in on the show. But there is a big event going out in Vegas right now, right, Carter?
Yep.
And we have a couple of our guests that's going out there. Shout out to Fadeaway Hoops with my man Key, who was from on episode 10, and his teammate Swaggy J on episode 2. You know, we've been pushing the fundraiser for them to get there, but they're on their way out there. So give them tell them a little bit about that big event that's going on out there, Carter.
So this Bigfoot tournament is a local big tournament here, and I'm actually playing in it this weekend.
All right.
So another one of our past guests is going to be there too. Isaac Passion with CEO. So you might see you might see him out there too with his squad.
Yeah.
So we wish y'all all the luck up there, man. I wish all three of y'all could win, but I know only one person could win in that division, man. And I would love to see you guys, compete against each other. Go out there and say, "I'm the best Be Ready Sports podcast guest on the West Coast." No, I'm just kidding. But it sounds like you guys gonna get some good rub out there.
Yep.
For sure. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if they're intimidated by you or what, Carter. No one's clicking the link. Give it a little bit more. Give it a little bit more time. So I'm very curious to ask you, why do you think Indiana was going to win Pool A, Carter?
I think like Halliburton's in a. I forgot. Oh shoot. Ooh.
What happened?
I forgot that Halliburton got hurt.
Oh yeah.
But no. But then he said that the Hawks were going to win it in the Pool A of the East.
So what stood out to you from Atlanta, the ATL?
Trae Young has been playing really good. Kristaps Porzingis is going to be a good addition for them, and I think they're going to be really good.
I don't know. Yeah. That man plays 40 games a season.
Yeah.
We'll see. But we have a guest in here. When these guests call in, man, these calls be legendary. So let me see those pearly whites before I bring you on here. Let me see that smiley face. There you go. Now I can bring you on. There he is.
There he is.
Welcome to the show, sir. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I wanted to congratulate Carter on his interview. I think he's done a really good job. He's my grandson. Great job overall. I think you guys have done a great job with your films and everything as well. So I could all of y'all.
Thank you.
And the things that you guys do to continue to enhance players and things that you do these days to for our young talent, being as young as Carter to college boys and following tournaments. It takes a lot. I understand it takes a lot to do that.
Yes, sir.
So very well appreciated. Anyway, of course, I've been following Carter since he was 5 years old, and he just has a tremendous skill set that he works very, very hard every single day. You ought to see him running heels and push-ups. And I know this week he's been working on his shot a lot more with his trainers and coaches this week. And he wants even a quick release that he's been working on. So His dad's been working with him, and you know, uh, so the kid's got a lot of talent. He goes on to uh, uh, prep school coming up here in August. Uh, we know he's going to be a tremendous player in addition wherever he goes. So, and I'm not just saying that because he's my grandson, but you guys seen, 19 cuts of him, and it's even better when you're seeing him in person. He's just a live, true person, and his teammates love him. He's a team player. We talk to him all the time and talk to him about his development. He did mention about uh, trusting in God and reading his Bible every day. So that's another instillment that's been instilled within Carter through our family history. So uh, he's a good one. We picked a good one. We believe he's going places and going to be very successful in his endeavors, basketball endeavors.
And that was well said. Ain't nothing else have to be said after that.
No, right? Yeah, that
That
was
was
amazing.
that was well said, man. And everything that you said is on point. We at the Be Ready Sports Podcast feel the same way. That's why we brought him on here, and me and Carlos was very touched by his bio. Um, very, 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 very touching. Um, so yeah, we're very confident that we have a good one on here. So we, like I said, we do our homework. We don't just throw anybody on here on the pod just to have a show. Now these kids have to be going places, and Carter is one of one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You got anything, man? Your grandpa said a lot, man. You got anything to tell him, Carter?
Thank you. That very inspired me. I love you. Thank you so much.
And we love that you get in your word every day, man. I love that. That's what stood out the most, man. So you keep your faith. Stay strong, and you know, great things is coming for you, CP.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Penn, Senior. Great call as always, man. Great call. We always get the great calls from the grandparents, man. They're legendary. Thank you for tuning in, and thanks for calling in on the show.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome,
Welcome.
man. Man, that was amazing. That was amazing, amazing, man. About to bring tears to my eyes, man. Nah. All right. Before we go, um, oh, we forgot to take these off, Carlos. We got to do this. I'll do that after the show. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It helps us grow. You're liking this video. That means that tells YouTube, they like this video. So let's push it out to more people. So go ahead and like this video. Also sharing it also, pushes it out to more people. And hey, this is your boy CP. The more people who get eyes on CP, the better. And you subscribe to the channel. That helps us grow. And you'll see every time that we come on with some more amazing athletes. We will be here. Well, I will be here tomorrow. Carlos will be in the air on his way to the ATL.
Well, well, probably when the podcast is aired tomorrow, I will already be in Atlanta playing a game. So I'll be in the middle of a game while this is aired tomorrow.
Yeah, because we're gonna go live tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We got my man Phoenix Ford coming in on tomorrow. Another elite point guard. After him, we got Major. He calls himself the Show. We're going to turn it back into football on Friday. Saturday we got my man Caleb Reynolds coming on here, and then Sunday, it's very historic, Carlos. We have our first youth kickboxer coming in on the show, so it's going to be
Okay.
something different. And he's a local, South Florida guy.
All
So
right.
Kevin Velasquez, but we call him the Sandman. Y'all got to tune in for that one.
All right.
We might have to put
Interesting.
we might put a virtual octagon on here. And no, I'm just kidding. We ain't gonna do all that.
Octagon UFC.
We ain't gonna do all that.
All right.
Also, if you want to help the channel grow, please donate to the channel until we get monetized.
Hmm?
Um, uh, it's a Cash App, which is $Coach THBA Academy. All donations go 100% into the channel to help us grow. And because of past donations, that's why we were able to have this, and this Carter earns it.
Yeah.
All right, Carter, give your final your final shout outs for the show today, and tell them how they can find you on social media.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. My social media is Carter Penn 22. Thank you for my grandparents and my dad and my mom for tuning in. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Yes, sir. And we are
Cool.
very honored to have you on here. We would love to do this again later down the road, so we can give everybody update of your progress. So we'll coordinate that. Probably want to do it around when school season starts, like
Yeah.
later on in the year, probably around like November-ish. But we'll love to get you back on there so we can keep everybody updated of your progress. And congratulations also on your new adventures at your new school,
Thank
man.
you.
I wish you good nothing but success with that, man.
Thank you.
And I love the fact that it's a Christian school, so it keeps you on track of what's most important to you, your
Yep.
faith, number one. So I love that. I love that for you. All right,
Thank you for the opportunity.
of course, man. So
Sure.
I know my man Carlos. I know he walked through this already before you went live. So Carlos, go ahead and count us out.
Okay. See, the thing is, I forgot to do it.
Oh my gosh, man! Oh my god! I thought, man, you thought you had to. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Carlos. Carlos, do you remember what's our slogan, CP?
Mm,
Oh, I'm not gonna torture you. Yeah, obviously you
I
don't
don't
know
know.
it. Let me. I would love to tell you, but it's best to just show you. Oops, wrong button. Yes, we got merch, y'all. This is our t-shirts, Be Ready Sports Podcast t-shirts. And as soon as I can get Carlos his, we'll start wearing them. But that's our logo on the front and on the back. What does that say?
be ready, stay ready.
That's our slogan right there. It's gonna be right on the t-shirt. And if you wanna order one, just inbox us on our Instagram until we get the store up, which is of course Be Ready Sports Podcast, our Instagram, and put your order in, and then we'll get you your merch. But guess yours is gonna get custom made. So with that being said, Carlos is gonna count us out. 3, 2, 1, and I'll say the first half, which is to be ready, and you stay the bottom half, which is stay ready.
Okay.
All right. All right, Carlos.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
To be ready.
You have to stay ready.
Yes, sir.